Spirituality in the houses. Neptune is the home of all divinity, all energy, all sources. So you say Neptune in the houses. Okay, let's see how Neptune operate in each house, 1 through 12. So mine is Neptune in the 6th house, but I'm going to start at the first and move all the way up. So now we're going to see how Neptune act in each house. Because Neptune itself, and this also first house traits, because all the Neptune traits will be a person in the first house, personality, and the outer appearance. So if you got Neptune in the first house, no matter what your rising sign is, it don't matter what your sun sign is or your moon sign is, Neptune is part of your personality. So when you got a planet in the first house, it deals with the self. It's in the house of Aries. It deals with the self, your warrior self, and Neptune will be your spiritual self. So you very much psychic and sensitive to energies and over emotional. Over emotional, yes, very sensitive. But you're very creative and you like things that's of harmony, and you like to be a fighter for the underdog or cheer for the underdog. If not a fighter, you're on the side of the underdog because you love to help, you love to give. You're very nice, you're very pleasant, and you're very musical. Your mind is musical. You deal with the subconscious. So what's hitting within the subconscious is a whole lot of water. That deep water that hold all type of emotions, all type of feelings. And you're good with keeping them feelings hidden. Because this deals with, Neptune deals with hidden feelings and also within you, your intuition. So you're very much psychic, which means you got all the psychic abilities, because Neptune is basically over psychic ability. Like Pluto is more like, has all the gifts too, but it's more like the medium that taught the spirit. And that's like clairsentience, and Pluto can see through you. The moon, of course, the moon has all the abilities, but it deals mostly with that self. So you deal with some of everybody energy, but the moon also is the mother, so the moon also deal with everybody energy that it loves and that it cares for, and also those that it don't care for. So all the water houses, even Pluto, all of them deal with psychic ability. It is that Pisces, or the house of Pisces, or the planet Neptune itself, it deals with all of psychic abilities, all of the abilities. It's strictly psychic ability. Like Pluto deal with the hidden end of psychic ability, want to help you and want to help you transform. And Cancer want to nurture you, use this psychic ability to help you and nurture you like that. But Pisces, and the house of Pisces or Neptune, it want to be divine itself. It's more divine itself. It don't need a cause to be divine. Like Pluto is divine, to see through your shit when you trying to lie and to see through the fakeness. And then Pluto is about living through that through wisdom. See, the mother itself, which is the moon, is naturally a part of the mother. She uses it to help her kids. So all of them, as you see, had this ability. It's just that the house of Neptune, which is Pisces, when you say Neptune in general, which is the planet of Pisces, Neptune is strictly spiritual, strictly divine. Everything is about divine, being spiritual. And so Neptune need faith. And faith will help Neptune manifest his reality just by being spiritual, just by thinking and vision something and imagine things. Because Neptune is definitely clairvoyance and definitely clairsentience and definitely clairaudience. But it's more clairvoyance and clairsentience more than anything. Also could be a medium to channel energy, put it in the right space, and also a medium that talk to spirits. And so boom, and also through dreams. So Pisces got all the abilities. So if this is in your first house, you wonder why you is a meditative, why you dreamy, why you fantasize a lot, and why you don't want to take on the world pain because it become overbearing and too much. And so now you want to be escapist. Because Pisces could be escapist. So you can apply this to the rest of the houses when I go in. Because you know the Neptune traits. The Neptune traits. The same as Pisces is the Neptune traits. Because the Neptune is in Pisces. And so now, when you're speaking of Neptune strictly in every house. Okay. So this is the first house. I am. You is Neptune. I am Neptune. I am Neptune. So this is the first house. It's just part of how you look, your personality, and your attitude in life, what people see, and your outward personality that people see. And so yours is very sensitive. Listen to your intuition more than the intellectual mind, more than reasoning. You live by your intuition. You just love nature, and that's if you're on the upside in general. You just want to do what you want to do, be a free spirit, don't want nobody to box you in. You're very sensitive, and you might don't trust people that much. So Neptune could be deceived so much because Neptune's so nice and so kind and all about unconditional love, because it's part of your personality that you could become the type that don't trust people. And so this is, if Neptune is in your first house, this is part of who you are. The way you speak will be in the style, poetic, philosopher, writer. You like images, you like pictures, you like movies, you like acting, playing roles. So that's what everything that Neptune can do. It can have you be so charismatic, so charming. And so you're the one who creates your life, create your reality, because this is the house where it can vision something and manifest it. It can speak it or just have faith and manifest its intentions more than any other sign. Because due to you born in this house, and this is how the energy work, this will be your energy for the rest of your life. So, and this is the first house, personality, is Neptune awareness of self. You are aware of self, spirituality. So you definitely spiritual. You don't follow nobody else's religion. And if you do, you wonder why you be sick and why you be ill and why you have low self-esteem. So you have to think outside of the box and create your own spirituality and move how you move, or be into spirituality and not religion, because spirituality give you freedom. It give you a representation of who you are, teach you your divine nature and how to use it. It's metaphysics. So you need metaphysics or science to show you who you are and how to work your powers. So you can be the most powerful person on the planet when it's in the first house. I'm about to move on. So the first house, if you're listening and this is not your house, so now you understand the trace of Neptune going into all these houses. So when Neptune, because Neptune is a part of who you are. All these planets are basically a part of who you are in every part of your body. So Neptune deal with the feet, and they also deal with the pineal gland. So now, what we got to understand is that when Neptune is in the second house, it's all about values. It's earthly. So Neptune don't really appreciate being earthly, because Neptune more spiritual. So when it's in this house, it can struggle with material possessions, or don't care about money or possessions. And it's all about, in this house, about the Neptune worth and the importance. So the worth of Neptune will be more spiritual, more divine. And so it's best for Neptune, when you got this in the second house, is for you to learn how to balance out your material self with your spiritual self. Don't be all Neptune, because you can stay in your fantasy world or all up in your mind and don't want to come down to reality, the earthly plane. But while Neptune is in this house, to give Neptune the ability to carry out is divination. So one thing that Neptune have in common with Venus in the second house is love. And so when dealing with love, when they combine the earthly traits with Neptune, Neptune would carry it out, because all earth sign deals with applying. It deals with working. It deals with putting it into action, manifesting. So Neptune can manifest anything that deals with value. Neptune feel good when they have things that's spiritual, or have things that's divine, or it feel good being around the family that it really value, or with people who is close to. So Neptune could get paid when dealing with anything that's spiritual or divine in this house. So how you will make money is when you balance out your material self and don't be all spiritual, not too spiritual, because you need balance. In this house, how you win is when you be practical too, which means that you use your divination or your spirituality to prosper. Like, you can sell things, the spiritual items like the ankh, or spiritual like gemstones, like things like that in this house. You can make a lot of money, because this gives you the ability to make a lot of money. See, when it's in the area that's in your chart in this house, your ability to capitalize. So this is how you will win. You know what I mean? By getting into things that deal with divination and if spirituality mean a lot to you, that mean that you really could be very stubborn when it comes to your divinity. Nobody can tell you what is what, because you can have a fixed mind. So when Neptune is in this house, Neptune want to feel good. It want to feel good and live good. So the Neptune need to be carried out. So just like Venus is sensual in the earthly way, Neptune is also too. It deal with energy. So Neptune deal with energy. It deals with mastering spirituality or mastering energy, being a performer of energy. So when it's in the house of Taurus, it expresses sexity in a way where like tantrum, sex, and you work its magic by having good intents, whatever want to manifest. And this how it works in this house of Taurus, because Taurus is most like the earthly mother. This the earthly mother house. So your divinity will be the earthly mother. You know what I mean? This how you win in this house of Taurus. And so the psychic gift that you have, you'll be an empath, psychic empath. Pick up on people's emotions, their energy, know how to read people, help people by counseling. This is another way you can make money. You can make money dealing with anything that's spiritual and divine, like socializing and helping people, because you can feel emotions through your body. So this is the house of making money, and Taurus is a money making sign or financial income. And so it's for you to not worry about money, because you can worry about money, be all caught up in money until you start losing your faith and losing who you are and be sick and ill. And so you need to balance it out and have faith in this house. You need faith of Neptunian things. Neptune give you the ability to be more creative than what you already are, because you're already creative. You're already psychic, and you intuitively know. You live by your intuition more than anything, and you're more practical with it. And so, boom. Now, when Neptune is in the third house, Neptune is in the house that deal with the mind, that deal with the mental and the mind activities of communication, activity of socializing. So Neptune can express itself in this house. Neptune in the third house of Gemini, which is mutable. Neptune can adapt because Neptune already mutable. Neptune already done been in Pisces, so it know how it feel to be mutable or versatile. So Neptune can learn, and Neptune can also have mental intuition, be very good at reading people's mind and thoughts. So Neptune could be very telepathic, have telepathy powers, could be a mind reader in this house. So this is the second ability that Neptune will have in this house, and also have intuitive thinking, intuitive communication, where you just, I know communication. I know, because Neptune give you that highly intuition. So when they connect with Mercury in the air, the water in the air, it can be very powerful, very powerful. And so it's for you to balance out your logical thinking and your reasoning with your psychic abilities or your gifts, your intuition. Once you balance it out, which means sometimes be logical and also give your intuition a chance, you will win. Don't be all logical. It's a balance, because you can blend in your logical nature. Mercury give you understanding of what you see, and this clairvoyance. They give you understanding of what you feel, because you do feel, and Neptune deal with feelings, which is clairsentience. See, Mercury give you understanding and overstanding of the word or the message, because it deal with the message. And so when you got Neptune in this house, Neptune, it's all about your siblings. Your siblings getting along with your brothers, your sisters in this house. So you have most like a spiritual family, or develop a spiritual family. And so you might grow up in a home that deal with religion and stuff, where you can't relate, because you know it's more to life, because you also got the Gemini attitude in this house, because your mind is all racing with thoughts and ideas, and also your emotions is ticking. And so you know that religion don't give you the proper evidence to be real or solid. And so you need spirituality in this house to win. So spirituality is through expressing yourself, it's through communicating, it's through your mind teaching, healing. So by you teaching and talking it out, socializing with others, making people feel good, this how you win in this house of communication, which is Mercury. It's I intuitively think. I know. You got the knowing thinking, And so intuitive part come from Neptune, and the thinking part come from the Mercury. I intuitively think, and so your communication skills is off the Richter scale. So you love to learn, and so but you don't like to learn too long because you got Neptune there. Because Neptune don't really like to be all in the information that long. So once you balance it out, and learn enough, you don't really need to learn fully because you intuitively just know things. So you already got a fast intuition, fast thinking, and you just know because you deal with the subconscious. So you would be the type who study yourself, study your mind, and you like to study the mind. You like to know a person's thoughts, and you deal with communication. You like to hear everybody else talk too, but you also could be the one who love to talk so much and who can trick people too. So watch out for that, because Neptune don't like to trick people, but sometimes Neptune could seem deceiving. So to individuals, you could seem like you are deceiving, but you're not. You know what I mean? So, but Mercury can actually deceive. So when you blend it in your balance, you still might seem like a deceiver, but you're a good person. People gonna find out that you're a good person. They might say all type of things about you, but you had the right thinking and the right mind like that. So you could be a psychic reader, psychic healer. You could be the one who do astrology, numerology, tarot reading, and everything. You can do anything that deal with different divination and the mind, the spirit and the mind. The spiritual mind powers right here. So you can be very aggressive and combative when dealing with the mind and dealing with the spirit. So your divinity is in this house to give you the best chance to fill out all psychic ability, even to become a medium and to understand it. And so with Neptune, Mercury gives you the ability to understand it, from the mind state, through your imagination, through your visions, through what you feel, and things of that nature. Now, we got Neptune in the 4th house. This is in the house of the ancestors. So Neptune will be more divine, and this is one of the most powerful psychic placement because this deal with your emotions. And Neptune is already watery, so it'll do good in the water house. And now Neptune don't have to just roam around and be immutable. It could be it's in the house of a cardinal. It could be right at home. So looking within yourself is very important. Having knowledge of self, having self-love for yourself is very important. Your mother is very important. Your parents in general, your mother and father and your family is very important. And so you can be the one who chill at home all day and be cool with yourself and meditate all day and read anything that deal with the divination of spirituality, astrology, numerology, palmistry, anything of that nature. You can just sit at home and be relaxed. It's all about how you feel comfortable. Neptune want to feel comfortable. Neptune want to be relaxed. So the home deal with that too. So the home want to feel comfortable and relaxed. It's watery. So rather than the home, anything that deal with the home, anything that deal with the roots, you will win. You could teach things about the culture, about the roots, where you came from. And so you're all about your family life. You're all about your family history. So you could teach things that deal with the root. You could teach things that deal with every aspects of divination, even the energy centers, which we call the vortex or the chakras. You could teach about all of that, which means metaphysics. And this how you win. And anywhere you go, we can feel like home. Because Neptune could be a free spirit, but when you in the 4th house, you want to be at home. You want to feel at home anywhere you go. And so it connects easy to another water sign. This part of your emotions. Your emotions is psychic. So you dream. Your psychic dreams, you had that a lot. So in this house here, it's all about security. Security and feeling secure within yourself is how you win. And so you had the power to tap into the unknown spirits because Neptune is the mother. The Neptune is in the house of the mother, which is the moon. So when the mother is spiritual, she truly divine. This is one of the most powerful placement. Not only could you be a spiritual healer, but you also can be one of the most powerful, sort of like gurus. And that's really not my term. My term is more like become like an ancestor, or feel like an ancestor. Sometimes you can have a spiritual complex about yourself that everything is spiritual, especially like of the planet. And you might want to rub it off on people and stuff like that. So watch out for that, because this deal with your emotions, and this is how you feel secure. It's a need. Emotions is a need. I need spirituality. I need divinity. And so you definitely need spirituality or divinity. And you don't need nobody else thinking of ways, because this will throw you off the path of who you are. So you won't follow nobody else's ways. And if you do, I mean, you're gonna be a leader of that religion. So you basically it's not gonna be religion because it's not gonna help you. And so you're gonna keep going through it internally. You need self-control, self-discipline, because emotion is power. We pick up on everybody's energy within the home. And you can feel when your family is going through. You can feel when your friends are going through. You can feel when your loved ones going through it. You can feel what's going on in the world or the environment, because you feel like everybody's your kids, your children, and you're the sacred mother. So Neptune is in the house, in the moon house. This is a powerful placement. You know what I mean? It's I nurture. You want to nurture some of everybody, but the true nurturing is within yourself. So you nurture yourself, your spirit. So you'll ball up to protect yourself. You protect not only your family, you know what I mean? When it comes to divinity, you protect your spirituality too. You protect your inner self. And so you type might don't even scratch your divinity like that. People just see it, the glow. And so people might want to be like you spiritually, and so nice, so giving, so loving to family, to culture. This is what you're all about. And you're all about the ancestors. Unless you're on the downside. If you're on the downside, you're against family, you're against culture. And so it can play out that way too. It depends on you. But right here, as I speak, it's I nurture. Nurture what? Your inner world, your inner self. It's all about the inner self in this house. Develop your inner self meditation. Being a master of meditation, you can be a teacher of meditation. So this is the house. This is a powerful placement right here. So boom, your job would be anything that's nurturing, anything that's caring, like cooking, anything that deal with finances or real estate, anything that deal with love, teaching love or spreading love, because you'll be an example of that once you tap into your true divinity. Boom, because you're the sacred mother in this house. Now, when the moon is in the 5th house, it's in the house of the sun. It's in the house of the sun. And what do the sun like? The sun like to have fun. I create. The sun want to create. It's reality. The sun like to create and do his own thing. So when Neptune is in this house, Neptune have fun in a spiritual way. Everything is spiritual. Neptune like to dance. Neptune like to party. Neptune like to be in the crowd and be the entertainer and be the star. Neptune like to shine in this house. Neptune will shine its divinity of who it is. And Neptune gonna stress and represent what it is. You know what I'm saying? So Neptune love the kids. It's so happy to be around the kids. Neptune can identify with the sun. Neptune can feel good because it can shine right here in its divinity and be an example of what's divine. And so this is the creative house, and this add on to Neptune creative power. So now Neptune could carry it out for the world to see. And the media could be into the arts, the music, could be into the museums and everything. You put your work all in the museums and be the great architect of the world, designer, and create your own blueprint in life. So Neptune in this house want to dance with the spirit, definitely dance with the ancestors. So in this house here, Neptune gonna take the lead in these things. Neptune want to do his own thing. So Neptune don't want to really work for nobody else. Neptune want to do his own thing in any environment that Neptune in. You want to have fun, but and everything that you see as fun is spiritual to you in this house here. So fun is when you can play with the kids, when you can and being in romance, being in love, experiencing that. So you go through many relationships, and you the type who don't got to be so attached to people. You know what I mean? Which means that you can have one relationship, another relationship, and just because you don't experience it, to you it's spiritual. And so spirituality is very important in this house. It's like a hobby. It's so fun to you being spiritual, being divine. You the one who smile and say, "I love life." So you're very cheerful, very happy. And if you're not, you're on the downside. You're on the opposite side where you might don't want to have fun, or you might don't be want to use your creative skills, or you might hate romance because you done been through so much with dealing with romance, or you might don't want kids. But see, Neptune treat everybody as spiritual kids anyway. So Neptune see everybody as spiritual kids and want to inspire you. And this house here deal with inspiration. So inspiration come from your psychic gift. And so this person here who has the sun, who's in the house of the sun, psychic ability is nasty to you from the heart. Psychic ability from the heart. You definitely empath. You definitely are clairsentience. You definitely are clairvoyance. Because the sun is fire energy. It can see forward. And so you definitely are the one who creates your reality. Yes, you create your reality. You create your life. That's what you're about. You're not about following nobody else's rules and regulation. Because Neptune right here could definitely dance, enjoy life. Neptune But watch out for your habits, because I forgot to say, in every house, Neptune do on the other side got habits. So Neptune is also a sign of habits that you can be into drugs, alcohol. It's the most placement, like every water sign that deal with habits. Like the moon deal with habits, especially like in the moon house. So watch out on the negative side, you be into habits to escape your reality. So same is in this house, the 5th house. So Neptune, you can have the Neptune spirit where you want to escape your reality when dealing with kids, having fun, or when you feel like you can't make it in life, that deal with your creative skills, or anything that you go through romantically, or things of that nature. Now you can do anything that deal with the divination, because it's like sun connected to Neptune. It's like you're a Pisces. It's sort of like you're a Pisces. So watch out for being too sensitive and too emotional. It's just that in this house, you'll be having more fun in the Pisces because it's in the sun house. So boom, this the areas of life, with how you operate. So watch out, don't be a party child, be so addicted to drugs and to alcohol. Now Neptune in the 6th house, this is my placement. So when Neptune is in the 6th house, it's I serve. Neptune want to use the spiritual talents and the psychic vision to serve and to help. Because Neptune, this is the house of Mercury, Earth, which means practical thinking, practical communication, realistic thinking, realistic communication. So now Neptune right here has to work with Mercury to not be all up in this fantasy world all the time. Because Neptune will be the type where you can just fall asleep. So in this house here, Neptune have to wake up and put it into action. And this is how Neptune win right here. So right here, this house here want to apply this thing. Want to apply its spiritual, its divinity to life. So everything is divine, because this is the house of routine. So every day is spiritual to you in this house. Every day is spiritual, because this is my placement too. That's why I see everything is spiritual, and that's how people see it in this house. Everything divine. When you cut the grass, when you wipe the table off, I'm always imagine, and it feel good. I mean, I treat everything as spiritual, everything, even work, and I feel good when I work. So I'm gonna give you an example of this house. So Neptune in this house love to do his own thing. It just can't work for anybody because Neptune is divine. So Neptune can't just be in an environment that's full of emotions, because it can pick up on everybody's emotions. Because you got to understand that this is the house to deal with the earth, the body. So Neptune will pick up things in his body. So it's very empathic placement. Empathic is very clairsentient, because clairsentient is higher than empath. So clairsentient will pick up on things and can understand people, know when it's gonna rain. Cause I can feel it in my hands. So this is the placement right here. And so this the psychic gift that I have, and that's been proven that this definitely is what happened in this house. Because if I have it, a lot of people have it in this house without even knowing it. Where they can feel raindrops in your hand, let you know it's going to rain. Where you can feel somebody else pain in your body. And so this is what this house can do. So what this house utilizes for is to help people. This house always want to improve itself. And so anything that in the house of Virgo that Neptune want to do, Neptune want to improve itself. Neptune want to better itself. Neptune, which is your divine self, your spiritual self, in the house of Virgo, want to better itself, want to do good. And also, Neptune also want to deal with facts, but Neptune could come against this house too, because Neptune sometimes don't want to be all into facts. Sometimes Neptune just say, I'm listening to my intuition. Most of the time, Neptune want to listen to his intuition, but sometimes Neptune need to find the facts and need some confirmation. That's why, like in this house here, a person who has Neptune in this house is always searching for the answers, searching for the answers of life, want to see the facts. And sometimes how I feel, sometimes I say forget the facts. I gotta listen to my intuition. My intuition says this, and I can feel it within my body, and then it come out to be right. See what I'm saying? So it's like a balance. It's a balance. Not only is it logical thinking, in this house need balance. So long as the person got balance in this house, you'll win, which means you can use your intuition, and sometimes you do search for facts and evidence. Sometimes it helps. So you can't have one without the other, because this is the house of knowledge that deal with the health. So in this house, Neptune could feel sick or ill in the stomach, because a lot of times I feel like that, because Virgo deal with the stomach area. So Neptune could feel sick and ill. And also I feel like energy in my feet all the time. I feel good energy. It feels sensual. and let me know things. So if you know like palmetry, you know like the areas of the feet, which is which. Like I could tell you like what part means the head, which part means the ear, which part means the heart, which part means the stomach and my feet, the left feet and the right feet, because I always feel energy there first. Is one of the places where I feel energy. And so this let you know, because this is the house. This is Neptune deal with the feet. Then the house of Mercury or Virgo deal with the stomach. So you'll be good with the stomach, just like Neptune in the third house be good by moving your hands everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Deal with the hands and the arms and stuff like that. And that's another Mercury house, the air house. Now Mercury in the sixth house lets you know you'll be good. You'll be good as a healer. This is the house of the healer. So this deal with spiritual healing. So Neptune is spiritual, and Virgo house is a healer. So this spiritual healing and healing through the hands. And so you want to do things more practical. You're going to put your spirituality into existence. Everything spiritual you want to study, and you want to practice it. So this makes you one of the great psychics, because it makes you a great empath, psychic empath, clairsentience, clairvoyance. Like I got all the psychic abilities. I just know that. But I can identify with claircognizance more, and more like intuitive knowledge, where I just know this knowledge helped me to develop myself. So in this house, through knowledge, it will help you develop your psychic ability, your skills, earthly knowledge, facts, living in facts and truth. And the more you search and you live and you apply it to your life, the more you become more psychic, intuitive, and read people accurately. So it help you develop the right mind, the right spirit, the right consciousness, and great health. So you need spirituality to help you ascend. So your divinity is very important in this house. Yes, in the sixth house, helping people find a ways for people to heal, and more practical ways for people to heal, like through herbs, through gemstones, healing people with the hands, massages, and also you like to help and serve people, do the small things for people, do some of everything for people, and this will make you feel divine. This will make you feel spiritual. This uplift you, and you feel like you're doing a deed for the world. You're helping everybody when you like to help people, like to give to people so much, but you give all your time to people. So the thing about Virgo in this house, when you are into something, you into it. You go to the screen, you can overdo it and be very obsessed, but you also can be very, very strong in your belief, because Virgo is more very strong in your belief. So nobody could change your divinity. So you don't need religion. Religion will rub you the wrong way, because anyway, Virgo always question things. So Virgo gonna question religion, and Virgo gonna know there ain't enough concrete evidence of facts. And in this house, you're gonna be spiritual anyway. And if you don't, you're gonna go through it. It can be the opposite. So now we got Neptune. We got Neptune in the house of Libra. This is about partnership. This is about awareness of other people. And Libra's already good at reading people. So how your divinity plays out here is that when you into people, knowing their spirit, and finding ways to help people or to give counsel to people, is how you win in this house. And also connecting with people, because you know people so well, you know what to say. You know what to say, you know what to do, and you know what they're going to say. So this right here will boost your psychic ability. It makes you a great, makes you intuitive empath, because it's there with Venus, but also makes you clairvoyance. And basically, you have mostly all the psychic abilities, even though you be more like, have a psychic mind, more like telepathy powers, and be able to read people's mind more than any other sign, because you deal with like looking at perspectives, looking at people ideas, and looking at things from all corners of the globe, which means looking at knowledge from everybody. You don't take sides. You look at everybody's knowledge, everybody's information, and so until you come up with a great judgment. So you can be very insensitive in this house, because Neptune want to be sure of itself, and Libra is also want to be sure of itself. So once you master yourself and have great faith, you'll win in this house. You can be very spiritual, and you love to help people. You love to be that great humanitarian. And this house is all about love and partnership. So you here to bring spiritual oneness to everybody. Teach people about being one. Teach everybody about going into the heart chakra, the green light, to become one. And this is how they reach their divinity. Teach people how to be acceptance of the self and self-awareness in the seventh house of which is Libra, which is the air Venus. So this is what you're here for. You're here in your divinity is you feel good when you see other people really get into their divinity and really have self-love. So you love to see people grow, just like Neptune in the sixth house love to see people improve and feel good. You do too in this house. But you more like deal with the mind aspect. So you need knowledge to feed you too. You need knowledge to feed you too. But you can stay in your mind more than anything in this house because it connects with Neptune. So watch out for that. But you are very charming, very stylish, so you're very creative. This house is a house of creativity. So photography work will do very good in this house. And fashion would do very good in this house. Being a model would be very good in this house. Yes, being a model of some kind. So this is a great house for being a model. Just like the second house is another placement that's good for being a model. So this is spiritual essence where you can really feel free. You know what I mean? You feel free being who you're supposed to be. So this will make you feel spiritual. Yes, all this make you feel spiritual when dealing with the mind, when dealing with communicating, being social to people. Yes, and being able to help people. Because that's all you want to see. You want to see people do good, then you can be a martyr. So watch out for being a martyr. Just like Neptune in the sixth house could be a martyr, and Neptune in the second house could be a martyr. Watch out for being a martyr for other people. Watch out for that. And just like Neptune in the first house, which means yourself, it could be a martyr. Watch out for that. Because I forgot about Neptune could be a martyr. And so in the seventh house, it's all about relationships. This is your divinity. You will go through it when dealing with your relationships and relating to people, relating to places, relating to things. Sometimes you can feel like nobody understand you because you don't know how your frequency or how your level of thinking and communicating. You know what I mean? But once you understand that everybody is different and be accepting of others, your divinity will reach its heights, and you become a spiritual master and teach about oneness and teach about love, what love truly is. So your divinity is also sharing knowledge, spiritual knowledge, anything that deal with your divinity. So spirituality is very important to you. You love spirituality. You always communicate about it, socialize about it. Also, you do good in business partnership of all kinds. You do good. Now, when you got Neptune in the eighth house, it do good in the house of Pluto. It's psychic powers. This is one of the most powerful psychic placement because Neptune ain't scared to tap into the unknown world. Neptune want to know. Neptune so curious, want to know. Just like Neptune in the house of six, in the sixth house, Neptune in the third house, and Neptune in the seventh house, they like to know. So is the eighth house, like to know. Very curious. So in the eighth house, Neptune like to know. Neptune is all about setting goals and accomplishing spiritual goals. And Neptune is always transforming, experiencing this, experiencing that, and learning from that. Because this deal with Pluto. Pluto deal with power, the planet of transformation. So Neptune want to transform to his best self, want to be the best version, want to be the world ruler, want to be the best guru, the biggest guru, want to do it big. And so your divinity is of power, feeling like you in power with yourself. When you tap within yourself, so deal with inner power. So you can be the one who bring out the truth. You love to bring out the truth. Bringing out the truth, you reach your divinity. You love to spread the truth. And you the type who could see through a fake psychic. Anybody who claiming they divine and they fake, and you definitely don't go with no religion. If you do, you will suffer because it will take you out your power. You need that power. And so, boom, you good at spotting anything that's fake and not real. You good at helping people see who they are through you. And you're an example of the struggles. You're an example of the pains you went through. Because in this house here, they go through it until they reach a certain point in life, till they become their higher self. And in this house here, teach you. And so your spiritual, your divinity, everything in life has taught you to become your best self, your best version in the house of Pluto. So you would deal with sex. So your divinity deal with understanding yourself, expressing yourself sexually. Yes, but don't give it up to anybody. See what I'm saying? you can have sex, but don't give it up to anybody. And tantrum sex is what you'll be good at. Meditation type sex, not only sexually, physically, but also sexually in your consciousness, which means that when you are awoke to the knowledge, you feel like you spiritually in tune. And this is another way of sex, how sex operate. So this is in the 8th house, which is Pluto. And so also it's about you coming into some type of inheritance from people, like that, their access, you want to have things. You know what I mean? It's about your desires and what you want to fulfill. So you can be very dominant and very controlling. So watch out for that. You know what I mean? Because if you're like that, you might have a spiritual battle because you're so dominant and so controlling. You might go through it until you reach into who you are. So finances is very important to you. So sharing your finances, tapping into what's mystery and what's hidden is very important to you. Things like this nature, connecting with people, the right people. You know what I mean? Because you yourself don't really only mess with a few, because you got those who you do mess with. And so for you to control your aggressiveness, and through how you control your aggressiveness and your strong power, that fighting spirit, is through spirituality. Spirituality will keep you in tune. So Neptune in this house do good because it connects with the water. So in this house here, Neptune love it. Neptune can be that psychic that's supposed to be that medium, because you the one who definitely could talk to spirits. And you'd be the one who take off all your clothes when you by yourself and at home naked, because you feel divine, because you love when the air just touch you, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And you break the taboos about sex. You break the taboos about religion, and you crack their back, and you spread the truth about some of everything. And this is how you feel spiritually in tune. And through meditation, channel your energy. This your psychic gift, your psychic ability. That I mean, tapping into the unknown, spirits knowing about that, and you're very curious. You want to know, so you're gonna dive into the secret. So you be a psychic investigator, a psychic detective, just like Neptune in the 6th house. A Virgo could be a psychic investigator, and also. So with that being said, now when Neptune, because Neptune also in this house can be fixed in the 8th house. It can be very fixed in the 8th house. It can be very fixed. So it's for you to get out your fixed ways, and that's through being divine, knowing yourself through metaphysics. This is how you will win, because you always transform. Because Pluto can't be strictly fixed, because it's always transforming. You know what I mean? So you always want to be better, do better, and what you go through makes you better. You always creating yourself, being another person, being another person. You know what I mean? First you might say you this, then you say you this. You changing your names up. So now, we got Neptune in the 9th house. It loved this house because it identified with this house, because the regular planet was Jupiter instead of Neptune. And so when Neptune is in this house, it deals with spiritual wisdom, spiritual philosophy, higher education. It deal with justice, bringing justice to the injustice. And this is how you stay divine. It deals with being accepted of others and hearing everybody information, hearing what everybody got to say. Because you just love that. You love to debate on things that deals with wisdom or deal with knowledge. But thing is that you accept this of everybody's knowledge and their ways, but you still be stuck in your ways of who you are. So in this house, it deals strictly with spirituality. It deals with wisdom. It deals with philosophy. And so yours ain't only just spiritual, it's also spiritual in word, spiritual in expression, spiritual in being adventurous. Adventures of knowing people, nature, adventures of teaching. So you be the great sage, the great hermit, the great sage of the world. That I mean, yes, who dropping wisdom everywhere. So all your life you're gonna be spitting wisdom somehow. They might get tired of you spitting, and you always constantly spitting wisdom. We got Neptune in the house of Jupiter, so you're always spitting wisdom, and you always want to learn. Always want to learn, just like Neptune in the 3rd house. You always want to learn. Always want to learn. Education is very important, and if you don't go through the school system, because the school system, you want to think outside of the box, because you're a free spirit. So Neptune could be very free here. Neptune love to listen to his own wisdom, what it learned through experience, through the food that you ate, through the clubs or the bars you go to. Even if you don't go to clubs or bars, wherever you go, you want to learn, and that's through your senses. You want to learn. It's going to teach you also to be very psychic. And so it's going to span your Neptune. So in this house, it's going to span your psychic vision. It's going to span your clairvoyance. So you're going to be a big psychic. Do it big. And doing it in the media, doing it in the public. I mean, doing it big, because Jupiter going to span. This is the house of Jupiter. Sagittarius is going to span your psychic vision. It's going to span your intuition highly. It makes you more spiritual. But you can be so spiritual until you can go to the screen with it. So just watch out, not throw it all in people's faces. You go to the screen with it. You know what I mean? So it's a balance here. And so in this house here, it deal with travel. It deal with travel. It deal with getting to know other people, knowing about other people, and this is what you love. This is very spiritual to you. Being out of nature, being very adventurous, doing things in life, because you're all about life in this house. All about living with a big personality, big complex, very cheerful, very happy, and this type of soul that you possess in this house, which is Neptune in the 9th house. So it's all about ethics. You want to know about people cultures and ethics and stuff like that. You're super smart, super intelligent, and super psychic in a lot of ways. And so the way you psychic is through clairvoyance, and you just highly intuitive, claircognizance. You just know. And so through all the information, you just love knowledge, love information, love to learn. And so you love to question things. You are the true seeker, and always bringing justice to the injustice in this house here. So this house be a master scholar, a master philosopher, and things like that. A master teacher, spiritual master teacher in this house. So now, when Neptune is in the house of Capricorn, the 10th house, Neptune don't really want to be into a structure house, but the careers of Neptune will be spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Your public image will be spiritual. And so Neptune can get into it with masculine figures, the father, the men, authority figures, because Neptune don't want to be held down. So this is all about your status here. Your status will be spiritual, how people see you. They will see you either as a loony, or they will see you as a guru, a healer, or they will see you as a psychic, or they will see you as a type who have charm, flavor, one who creates your own style, or as a trendsetter. In this house, a Capricorn. And so this is how people will see you. This is with your status. And as long as you balance out your spiritual self with the material self in this house, you will win. Because you do need structure. Structure can make you one of the best psychics in the world in this house. When I say psychic, I mean all psychic abilities Neptune possess. So it could be clairvoyance. It could be clairsentience, because you're very emotional. So long as you can control your emotional, because you could be the type who might escape being out in the public, who don't want to be in the public, who don't want to be in the public, or who don't want to deal with your fathers or men, or deal with authority figures. And because this is the house of the expert, so you'll be an expert in spirituality once you balance yourself out in this house. Or you can be the type who not an expert. You can be like a dummy in this house. Not to tease you or downgrade you, but just speaking that, I mean, it could be the opposite too. And I'm not saying that you are, but if you're not, you probably are. See what I'm saying? If you're not on the higher ups. And so this also deal with your goals, long-term goals, Neptune. But your goals definitely would deal with your divinity, because you don't like to be in a structured environment. So you have to find some way where you can be creative, where you can express yourself. It got to be a comfortable environment where no pressure is put upon you, where you can dream, where you can imagine, because you're very imaginative and you like to fantasize, where you can carry it out and apply it, because you got the ability to manifest all your goals and all your visions, because you're very much psychic. Now, and this is in your careers. You want to leave a legacy when dealing with your divinity, writing books about spiritual books, writing, doing anything that's spiritual, astrology, numerology, being the best psychic, and this is how you win. Now, and also fame. You can be very famous by being a psychic or being a astrologer, numerologist, anything that deal with divination. Now, we got Neptune in the 11th house. Neptune are all in groups now. Neptune group up now. Neptune in the 11th house. Neptune is all very friendly anyway. So Neptune do good when dealing with humanitarian nature, because in the house of Aquarius, Neptune operating differently now. Want to be very weird. Want to be unique now. Neptune could be very rebellious against friends, against people thoughts. But Neptune also want to advance itself. Neptune love advanced knowledge, advanced technology, love the up to date of everything. Want to see the up to date knowledge, up to date information. Want to know what's happening day to day, because Neptune right here has hope. Neptune right here always look forward and move forward right here. So Neptune is psychically intuitive, which is claircognizance. You get downloads of information from nowhere. Not only is you claircognizance, you also clairvoyance and also clairsentience, but you also clairaudience. Yes, all the psychic abilities in this house. This is a universal house. So psychic in the universal house will be into universal things. So you could be the one who could be who have remote views. This is a higher part of clairvoyance. I mean, you can see somebody from all across the other side of the world. You know what I mean? With clairvoyance ability, be the great seer. And so this makes you good when dealing with humanitarian issues, having solutions, coming up with new ways of inventing new ways to solve problems. And I know that this house deals with the mind, and this makes you want to highly intellectual, but you want to do things from your Neptunian self, for your psychic ability, your skills, what you see, and your dreams. Your dreams likely to come true out of nowhere. You have psychic dreams, psychic visions out of nowhere. You just intuitively feel people pain out of nowhere, and it ain't got to be around you. You could be on another part of the world. You don't know why you feeling like this, because your mood's always changing in this house. This house deal with change. So in this house here, you know what I mean? It's all about your future, all about social awareness, who you're around, and stuff like that. So as long as you stay in tune with yourself, you don't have to be a champion for the other underdogs all the time. And you don't have to go crazy and be on some type of drug or alcohol. Because Neptune can be a drug addict or addict in some way, not only a drug or alcohol addict, but also a sex addict. Not only a sex addict, but some type of addict. It'd be a Kool-Aid addict, an addict. It deal with addict in general, because it's a planet that can create habits to escape itself from what's really going on, which means sometimes Neptune don't want to be in reality. You want to be in illusional world. So once you recognize that you are a spirit and that you are life force, then you will win. You know what I mean? Because in this house here of Aquarius, you're here to part the truth. You're here to bring the truth. You're here to create new systems and new ways to do things. You're here to bring new inventions to the world. Being that scientific, that psychic scientist, the psychic genius, that intuitive genius. You're here to be that. You know what I mean? In this world. And if you're not that, you might go through it emotionally. You might just escape yourself, and people might just mishandle you when you're on the downside. Take your kindness for weak because you're naturally a giver. You might give it to some of everybody. And you might be mentally ill. So also Neptune can be very mentally ill. And any of the house, Neptune on the downside can be mentally ill. And because your spirit not right, you don't feel right, and you don't understand your spirit. You don't understand yourself. So you're here to understand yourself so you can be able to help people. So you can help people by being an inventor, coming up with new ideas, new thoughts, coming up with new ways to heal, new ways to do things, new ways to help the world, to bring new ways. So in this house here, you can be your unique self. You can be who you are in this house. So you're here to be yourself. You're here to do your own thing. You're here to create new ways of people being divine or being spiritual. New ways to reach their higher self, because this deal with the higher mind. So Neptune is in your higher mind, very divine, very psychic, very deal with the subconscious. Now, when you got Neptune in the 12th house in his own house, Neptune go ham in this house. When I say go ham, I mean like Neptune love its own house. Neptune can do good right here, but Neptune got to watch out because it's too emotional right here, too sensitive, and too snappish right here. It deals with the regular Pisces trait. So this makes you like more Pisces energy, carrying out Pisces trait in the areas of Pisces. So makes you more the subconscious, deal with the afterlife. You want to know about the afterlife. Make you straight spiritual. Everything can be spiritual. You can do it overboard. So in this house here, Neptune is very dreamy, very imaginative, love to find ways to heal people and help people. Do everything to deal with divinity. In this house, your whole life would be about being divine. Just like the first house, the 12th house, your whole life would be about being divine. Just like the 4th house, Your whole life will be about being divine. See, the fourth house is more like the home life, the family, the culture, the ancestors. But when we talk about divine yourself. Like the 12th house, it's all about spirituality. Spirituality itself. Unconditional love, spreading your love, being an example of unconditional love, showing your love. You got all the psychic abilities. All the psychic ability, all picking up on people's emotions. No matter if you go in a store, no matter where you go, you're all picking up on people's feelings. You're all picking up on people's thoughts. Always you can feel all this in your body. So watch out for all of that. You know what I mean? You got the psychic ability to be the best in the world. But you are an old soul. You are an old soul. So the thing is that you got old wisdom that's within you. All you have to do is tap into it. So you're here to carry out your psychic dreams, your psychic visions, because you definitely a dreamer, might have nightmares and stuff like that. And if you do, just like when you're in the fourth house, or Neptune in the fourth house, it could have psychic dreams or nightmares if you can't control yourself and be into your powers and know yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because this is how you fail. This is how you want to be escapist, and you be on drugs, you be on alcohol, and this can tear you down. So you're here to eat right, drink right. Just like when Neptune in the sixth house, Neptune got to eat right and drink right. So when Neptune itself got to eat right and drink right, because it's divine, it's spiritual. Neptune itself is spiritual and psychic. It deal with all energy that deal with spirituality or divinity and the psychic vision, the psychic mind, the psychic, all psychic gifts. Tapping into the unknown. You know what I mean? So Neptune loved this. This the house that Neptune really loved, which is his own house. So Neptune could be what it's supposed to be. So once Neptune have faith, it will override anything. Because Neptune need closure right here. Closure about things, about life. So it's always researching within itself, trying to find out the answers to life. So you intuitively just know answers without even studying, without reading a book. You just know. I mean, it's just part of who you are naturally. So Neptune do scribe good right here in this house. And so Neptune, you do Neptunian things. You be into the films, into the arts, into music, into the culture. You be into things that deals with like photography, things that deal with art, things that deal with deal with people. And you definitely would champion the underdog, fight with people, but you can be a martyr. So watch out for being a martyr. And also, you can be into things that regular people don't be into. You know what I mean? Because you get along with some of everybody. Very kind, very nice. Don't let people take advantage of you, of your spirit, your good spirit. You got a good spirit, good energy. And a lot of people want to be like you. And sometimes people can put false claims upon you. So watch out for that. For you are very much a good psychic empath, or has clairsentient ability to the fullest. So you your clairsentient abilities and your clairvoyance and your psychic ability to help heal people, and so you can get careers that deals with helping and healing people. And this is how you win. So your whole mission is to be an example of spirituality, to show people how to heal, show people how to connect on what unconditional love is. You're here to do that. But you're here to also to watch out for those who try to deceive you. Yes, deceive you and take your kindness for weakness, so you can show people about naughty people in the world who try to bring down other people's divinity. So you're here to expose that too. So you're here to show people the light and the way of how they can heal, how they become their higher powers, their higher self. You're here to show people how they can reach, how they could connect with nature, connect with life. So, because you do that automatically, you like to walk out of nature. You like to take walks out of nature. Just like Neptune in the sixth house and Neptune in the second house like to walk out of nature, so do you too in this house. And so with the Neptune traits, how you win is being Neptunian. It's all about what's hidden, and you always looking out what's hidden. Just be careful not to be so isolated and so solitude that you forget who you are. Because you might want to isolate yourself from the world and forget who you are. So you're here to share this knowledge, the psychic knowledge, or this knowledge that you possess, and give it to the world. Because you're also highly intelligent. Also, you're highly intelligent you highly intelligent, but you deal with the soul. You can be the master when dealing with the soul, when dealing with meditation, because this is the home of meditation. So right here, channel your energy and you will get right. And this definitely would it be. Ashe.